playing Stowaway Stan.
Freighters fly from star to star, load the ships up in the yard. Crews are sad at every mar, working hard for R&R. They spend the whole night drinking, you might miss a thing or two. Just know that you'll be leaving with the new man on your crew. They're snoring in the air ducts, seen him taped up to the lights. He's underneath the deck plates, but he's never there to fight. In the corners of your ship, there's an old and feeble man, hidden on a secret trip, the bed of Stowaway Stan. Oh, he's never bought a ride, we're not sure if he can. Where's he gonna sleep tonight, the bed of Stowaway Stan? See, I've caught him once or twice, and he's sure put up a fight. Oh, but when the dust is settled, he just boards the ship that night. So open up your cabinets and empty out your drawers. I'd check up in the ceiling, though, and don't forget the floor. If you find bolts on the ground, well then I would put to you, you should take a look around, because he might be there too. In the corners of your ship, there's an old and feeble man, hidden on a secret trip, the bed of Stowaway Stan. Oh, he's never bought a ride, we're not sure if he can. Where's he gonna sleep tonight, the bed of Stowaway Stan? So the next time that you dock, just remember how you heard. Check your halls and corridors, cause a man you might unearth. Say your crew got drunk one day and the new guy was in charge. I bet you that old stowaway has snuck onto your barge. In the corners of your ship, there's an old and feeble man, hidden on a secret ship, the bed of Stowaway Stan. Oh, he's never bought a ride, we're not sure if he can. Where's he gonna sleep tonight, the bed of Stowaway Stan?
All right, you want to let it grow? Hold on.
You don't stand.
And my name's Rosewood. Let's celebrate the world's rebirth. We say let it grow.
My name's Mary, and I am.
And when it grows, let it grow. Like it did so long ago. It is just one tiny seed, but it's all we really need. It's time to change the life we lead. Time to let it grow. One angel
There you go. Okay. Anyway, thank you. Let's get started, shall we? Oh my god, why is it like this? Hold on. Why is it? Sorry, hold on. Actually, my captions aren't gonna work with my new thing here. Hold on. Microphones, okay. This one, yes. Okay. Start captions. There we go. Okay, captions are working now. Cool. Oh no, it's been clipped. I can't believe we stopped Stowaway Stan for that. You're so right. I'm sad about Stowaway Stan too. Well, how are you all? You vibing? We're good. Stop sending me Let It Grow in DMs. You guys watch Ashby on TikTok? I do. Alright, do we do lore sheets first? I think we do lore sheets first. Let me turn on some music. Ignore that. Oh, you didn't hear it. Good. It was the last YouTube video I was watching. We're gonna play this as usual. Loop. Alright. Lore sheets. What was the last? It was the 2nd. September 2nd. So we only have 2. That's fine. You got snackies and tea. Let's go. There are some bangers. I try not to like read through everything beforehand because I want to enjoy it in the moment. However, there were some bangers. I will agree. Remind me, by the way, in an hour, I need to feed the pets. And I usually forget. Okay. We have Celestine, angelic being made immortal. Oh, made mortal, not made of mortal. Priestess of the Monastery of Red Tears, joined the monastery mostly to spite those who cursed her, put on solace, and made mortal parasite planted on her as a punishment. I see. This is similar to some other, I know, like, Alfie had, like, a parasite thing. I think someone else this season has a parasite thing. Her right limbs are prosthetics, inspired by Victorian prosthetics. Had wings, one rotted away, parasite, and the other was cut off as the sacrifice to join the monastery. Always holds staff. The crystals it holds suppresses the parasite from continuing to spread. Interesting. Very cool. Very cool design indeed. Virgil can't react me here. Yeah, there's been a fight, a duel between Krufik and Virgil, pregnant man emojiing, reacting each other. We have from Ross, smells like rotting. Corpsemir? Was Casimir, Corpsemir, Ghostamir? I think this is Corpsemir. This is scary. This is my reaction. Let me have a lore sheet. Sorry for the... You're probably dying. Hang on. Is there a way I can... Well, maybe I can zoom out here. Here we go. Mars Verity. We don't have... Oh, no, we do have lore. Enjoy the images here. Is this the... Talisker Sky? Friends, Cass, Krufik, and Butt Sniffer 69. Oh, no, this is Frostfire. This is Frostfire. These look so similar to me. Backstory. On Mars's home planet, all citizens worship the Slavic gods. To appease them, each couple would sacrifice their firstborn child. This would happen to them on their 15th birthday. Until then, the children are raised to believe that this is normal, and they usually go easily. Mars is the eldest child of her family, and on her 15th birthday, she was saved by one of the gods of life, Eurillo. He also blessed her with powers of healing, and even though they're weak, she vowed to use them to help others. After this, Mars worshipped the god Eurillo and was trained to be a priestess at a church dedicated to him. Damn. That's messed up. After the Great Anomaly, Mars was alone as far as she could tell, so she arrived quietly on Solace, looking for a refuge from the chaos of her emotions and her planet. She took residence in the village that preceded the kingdom of Frostfire, specifically in the church. She also resumed her position as a priestess once more. When the village was burnt, she was trapped under the rubble with no form of escape. To save her, Eurillo sent her to the plane. That's where she later met Krufik. Mars came back to Solace with her new friends Cass and Kay. The three met on the plane before arriving on Solace. The three made quick friends with the ruler of Frostfire, Krufik. Mars and the others were second on the scene when Krufik was shot. They are also working to nurse her back to health. First thoughts, Cass. A spirit, huh? You know what? I like him. That's my one friend now. Krufik. This is the one Eurillo told me about. Maybe this will be better than I thought. Butt Sniffer 69. Space pirate. That's not going to be problematic or dangerous. She's funny, though. We'll see where this goes. Awesome sauce. Also, I'm just now realizing that I didn't eat any food before the stream. I ate one bowl of cereal at like 9 a.m. and it's now 5 p.m. Don't do that, by the way. Bad for you. I should eat. But it's too late now. I'm streaming. When I go feed the pets in an hour, like 50 minutes, I will grab some food. Alright, let's scroll up to September 2. August 30th. August 31. September 1. September 2. Did we watched this? Yeah, the Pascal Chaos. And then we have this. Amber Norton recorded by Cynthia Drayle, The Death Catalog. Okay.
Pascal had a younger sister named Amber.
Why is it so zoomed in? I feel like it wasn't like that before. Maybe it was.
Though younger, She carried herself with a quiet confidence that made her seem older. Calm, observant, always thinking. Where Pascal was sharp and outspoken, Amber was steady and watchful, with a depth that hinted at things unsaid. The last anyone saw of her was in a grainy video passed around in
Wait,
secret.
we did watch this because the second was Tuesday. I'm an idiot. We already watched this and we already, yeah. Okay, everything on the second up to the stream. Sorry. We already read this, but not this. Yeah, we read that. Okay. An old worn journal. It's from Light. My bad, gang. Hi, Strawberry. Warning! This will go into detail about the Great War that overtook Light's home planet. It will mention death, violence, and killings. If you find this uncomfortable to read, please turn back. Otherwise, read at your own risk. Alright. That's not your thing. Mute, I guess. An old journal found among half-buried desert ruins. Most of the pages are unreadable, with only few mentioning a war surviving. A scribe has transcribed the following pages from those surviving pages. He had to take a leave due to how much emotion lingered in those pages. A scholar from another planet. The 8th month of the 3rd year since the start of the Great War. The air reeks of death. It suffocates all and leaves nothing behind. My father will not talk to me. He blames me in a way. He thinks that all of this is my fault. He grieves for my mother and my siblings. He wouldn't let me be their guide. He wouldn't let anyone take them away. He's gone mad. The demon that inhabits him whispers to him, twists him. I can no longer recognize the father who had shown me the gardens of Milady all those years ago. Everything hurts. It feels as though all of the spirits are pressing upon my body, making my bones grind. The 10th month of the 3rd year since the start of the Great War. I killed him. I killed my father. I broke my oath. My lady, great goddess of death, I'm sorry, I had to. I had no other choice. He was going to kill everyone. No, he did kill everyone. Everyone but me. Wait! Okay, wait, hold on. Father, my king, why? Why would you do this? Okay, before we read the next part, is this like, mistaking the Great Anomaly for, or is this just the war stuff? Because it'd be crazy if like, Light was like, I killed my father because the Great Anomaly happened and I thought that it was him. It was the war stuff? Okay, that makes sense. I just thought that would be crazy if it was like a total mistake. A scholar's writing. Tears blur the rest of the text. The rest of the pages had been ripped out after this one and the rest had been ruined by fire and ash. Whoever wrote this was the only survivor of this planet. They're gone now. I can't blame them. It seems as though the war they mention in their writings left a deep wound. I need a break from this. That's so sad. Damn it. I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. There we go. You know the lore is good when you gotta hit the wait. Yeah, exactly. I love when the things start to click. All right. From Angel. Guys, I genuinely forgot the September 1st stuff, so I'm pushing it further. I'll post it eventually, but here's the lore so far. Also, to clarify, Loomis is dead now. Yay! Since technically it's past the day she was supposed to be dead, the document about how she died will be posted soon. Log 4. Loomis is dead. She's actually dead. We did it. We really did it. Alfie would be proud. He'd be happy we're finally free from that godforsaken woman. Susu and I, we can finally be happy. We're together again. We really are. I just can't believe it. We're finally free forever. She's dead. But someone else died. Kaina. She was the biggest asset in our plan. Oh, how I appreciate her so much. I will miss her forever. For now, me and Susu have stuff to do together. I'm so happy. Something tells me you're gonna rip this happiness away from Angel. Hi, Mika. Welcome back to being awake. No one mourns the wicked. Yeah, exactly. Celebrate. Am I crazy thinking last Lore Tuesday ended early? I don't think it did. I mean, I read up until like the stuff was done, up until the regular time. But I was out in Pennsylvania, and I was very tired. I remember being exhausted. Yeah, it was a little rushed. I did skip like one or two things. It wasn't like skipping, for time or whatever. It was skipping for other reasons. But also we had staff in the VC last time. That was fun. No one joined me today. Maybe we'll do it just Fridays. I don't know. Edits may be made later, but this is the final version as of now. Writing this right before Lore Tuesday. Edits never made. Hope y'all enjoy. All right. Content warning for body horror and violence. And this is Okul. Let me view. There we go. The dream begins. I feel nothing but darkness and emptiness. I'm alone. I'm floating in the void of unexistence. Whatever was before Azeroth bled being into being. But I can't see, but I should be able to. I don't know why I should be able to. I'm not deprived of sight as I usually am, but I still am. I hold my hands up to look at them. I feel them move, struggling and cracking with each movement, but I can't see them. I know what I have to do. My hands firmly place themselves on my face, where eyes are on most creatures. Then they dig, they claw, they penetrate my skin. I claw away at the blockage on my face, my skin, muscle, and blood. I rid it from my face until I can see. It hurts. It really hurts, but I need to do this. My hands find empty spaces. I open my eyes. I truly open my eyes. I'm not floating in the void anymore. I'm stuck. My body seems to be half melded into a tree, one with it. My right hand seems to be stuck, so I use my left hand to try and free myself. It fails. I cannot push myself free. I attempt to observe my surroundings, but I cannot move my neck. I'm stuck looking at the same spot. An empty field of grass. There's something in the center, something I cannot understand. It's void, blackness, a heart of darkness. It leaks and seeps into the area around it, but it remains small. It does not grow. There's nothing to nurture it. It struggles. I hear a voice, a familiar one I can't make out. A poisonous tone bleeds into every word. A sickened yet distinguished figure appears. I scream and yell for it to get away from her, but I make no noise. My mouth was consumed by the tree. It approaches the darkness and picks it up, holds it, somehow contains it within its own arms. The darkness grows. It's been nurtured. It violently spreads over the figure's body. He but smiles. It spreads over the grass. It dies before it covers it, and then it reaches me. It burns. It feels like acid. It covers me in my entirety, making my skin feel as though it is peeling off slowly. And then it's black again. The burning doesn't stop. It always burns. I deserve to always burn. I hear a sickening snapping in the darkness, and a light emerges from the source. A mass of eyes and teeth and things I cannot describe. Something truly beyond the meaning of beauty. My divine lord, you visited me. Your twisting form cracks and contorts as I cannot understand it like I will one day. You twist and turn in ways that would make Akiana himself sick to his stomach. I cannot bear to observe it much longer. Your beauty is too much. My eyes, they burn. I raise my hand to touch my eyes and my finger is scalded. It stings and blisters immediately. My eyes feel as though they are being ripped apart by the molecules, and then suddenly, it is silence. I am blind again, but this time it's the way I'm used to. I look around. I can make out walls on either side of me. It's cold. There is a statue, a large one, outside the area I'm in, but it looks over me like an ever-present omen. It oddly resembles the sickened figure. And then I wake up. And I remember why I do the things I do, despite pushback from the lower forms of this place. That was disturbing. My favorite part is the I deserve to always burn. Ugh, Okul angst. I was so mad I didn't join this last week. Oh, you mean the stream or something else? So my neck is killing me. I have like constant like shoulder pain and neck pain from, probably sitting in this chair all day. Oh, the stream. Oh, yeah, you fell asleep. Well, I put up the VODs finally. Speaking of CJ, this is from Croy. Things are oddly peaceful, personally at least. It feels as if something happened and a weight has been lifted. Exactly what, I cannot be sure. Milena and her goddess Marana still linger. I have not seen Sam or Lynx in a while. A funeral is being planned for Havoc and Loomis. Loomis doesn't need a funeral! Dude, just, chuck her in a pit and, just leave it. Don't even put in the effort to dig a pit. Find a hole. Just... My lack of thought of her must have kept her at bay for now, though now that I write about her, she may appear. I will deal with that when it happens. Maybe I can get more information from her if I play nice. Kron is slowly becoming more social. I'm glad, actually. Even though people do not come by in the forest as much anymore, Kron does not immediately move to attack when they see someone. Just watches and quietly asks me some questions, along with pointing things out. I am proud of them. Maybe they will make it a habit, leaving the forest. It feels as if they are growing up. Soon they will not need me as much anymore. I visited Krufik in the hospital. I hesitated the first few times I tried to. She would not have seen me, I know, but the thought of her waking up when I am there, staring at me, or rather through me. I just gifted some blue orchids and left her to rest. Searching for Eclipse has crossed my mind many times. It would be quite easy for me to follow her and learn information. I do not need to even touch her mind to do so. If I do find something, I could report to Marcelo. If not, maybe Comet. I found their faction's library earlier this week, after all. It could make up for my lack of action when seeing Eclipse first, while she was burying Cypher. Then again, I am not sure. Spying on her would be easiest, yes, but what if I spoke to her? She cannot harm me, after all. The only thing is, she may bolt. I will give it some more thought. As of now, I will be heading out to look for Froggy. She forgot the teddy that Kron gave her in our home. I believe she is either at Mira's home or the House of Ocular Enlightenment. Croy. Oh, this is the little stuffed frog. It's so cute. I think I read this already because I was excited. But this is a cool one. I'm glad to see Kron kind of stepping out of their comfort zone a little bit. But like Croy was saying, it does feel like, a parent watching their child grow up in a way. They grow up so fast. Time 5:24 p.m. Location Arcturus shooting range. Rifle MAR 6B1, pistol MSA 16A4. Mira and Eleanor were getting prepared. Mira was adjusting protective glasses on her face before she placed on the gloves. Eleanor was already wearing both sets as she inspected the weapons and lined them up, making sure the guns were unloaded. All right, kid. Eleanor stepped back from the table where the weapons rested. Take your pick. Mira approached the table with some caution, grazing the handle of the pistol before moving and grabbing the rifle. Can I try this one? Mira asked tentatively, grabbing the gun with some anxiety. I said your pick, Eleanor said, directing Mira to the shooting area and through the proper loading. Now shoot. Eleanor took a step back. Huh? Just like that? Mira asked with some anxiety. Yeah, Eleanor said, shrugging her shoulders. Mira tried to mimic the stand she thought would be used to shoot. She was about to pull the trigger when Eleanor placed a hand to support her shoulder. Shoot. Eleanor encouraged, and Mira focused back on the target. She pulled the trigger and felt her body respond from the ricochet of the weapon. Her body almost fell, but Eleanor's hand on her shoulder prevented disaster from happening. Eleanor moved to support Mira's arm so the weapon wouldn't fall. All right, Eleanor said with a sigh and gently took the weapon from Mira's hands. Let's start smaller, Eleanor said as she placed down the rifle and picked up a pistol. This baby right here is an MSA 16A4. Eleanor handed the weapon to Mira. I'm sorry, Mira said and looked sadly at the now forgotten rifle. You need the basics, then you can eventually upgrade to that. Eleanor said and directed Mira on how to hold the gun. Like this. Don't lock your elbow. Mira relaxed her right arm but kept her shoulder firm. Now shoot, Eleanor said, still keeping her hand on Mira's shoulder. Mira took a shot. It was far off from the mannequin, but it was more controlled. Her torso moved with the shot, and Eleanor's hand kept her stable. Your whole top half will receive the ricochet of the shot, so you don't want to lean back, Eleanor said, moving Mira's torso to lean straight and using her foot to move Mira's feet to proper position. Do this. You have a wider stance. Eleanor kept a hand on Mira's back, but this time it wasn't as stiff. Again, Eleanor said, and Mira took another shot. It was still not accurate at all, but her body was more stable this time. That wasn't as uncomfortable, Mira said with some relief. Good. Even if you were to have the aim of a pro player, it would never matter if you can't stand to take the shot properly, Eleanor said, placing ear protection back on her ears. They continued like this for some time, mostly teaching Mira the proper way to handle herself in the gun range. Most of it was simple. Don't place your finger on the trigger unless you're going to shoot. Always treat the weapon like it's loaded and the safety is off. You will only be able to learn to aim when you can follow these rules by heart, kid, Eleanor said when they started packing up. Mira helped unload the weapons and placed everything in the proper place. Thank you again, Chief, Mira grinned as she closed the case. Don't worry, you kids will need to learn how to handle this stuff eventually, Eleanor said with a tone that was more relaxed than when she was around the captain. Eleanor, could I ask why you decided to come back? Mira asked before she could stop herself, but immediately regretted. I don't mean it like it's bad. I'm glad you're here in Solace. Eleanor let out a laugh, leading Mira out of the shooting range into the hangar. You shouldn't worry about these things, kid, Eleanor said as they walked through the hall. You're too young. Eleanor was cut off by Mira. I'm one of the judges, you know, Mira said a bit more sternly, unlike her usual uncaring manner and more like her public persona. They remained in silence, and Eleanor seemed to be thinking, maybe about something to say, but she never said anything. Mira had learned that Eleanor doesn't really like to interfere with people's personal decisions, so she thought this was one of those moments. I prefer if you just told me what you were thinking, you know, Mira said with her usual sass. Eleanor glanced at Mira and rubbed her temples, as if deciding if she wanted to get involved or not. Finally, with a groan, she spoke. Why are you involving yourself with these things? Eleanor said directly, which caught Mira off guard. You don't pull punches, huh? Mira said with a chuckle. Well, back at home, I guess I would have been worrying too much about bigger things, especially after the vanishing. The anomaly. Mira trailed off a little bit. I've seen a lot, more than most people here, and I want to protect them, you know? Mira sounded more like herself, the unapologetic 19-year-old prankster. Eleanor didn't say much, then took a breath and smacked the back of Mira's head. Hey, Mira said while looking at Eleanor. Well, your aim will surely not save anyone if you don't practice it. We'll practice tomorrow. But it might take me years to get you to get close to the target, Eleanor said a bit more upbeat. Hey, I'm not that bad, Mira said as they turned the corner. You're right, it's atrocious, Eleanor said more smugly, their bickering resounding in the hall as they disappeared into the background. I like that Eleanor is, starting to make friends. You know, she's got Freya, she's got Mira. I don't know if she's... there's Marcelo already, but, they were already acquainted. Mira needs to stop finding, parental figures or, guiding figures. That will only lead to pain. We got CC art! Let's go! An unexpected invitation. This is so good. It's Kron. I wonder what this is, though. The, glowing green goop. The cookies. Yapping. This is great. What do I mean? Just saying. You know the plan. The thing with Eleanor coming up. I don't know. Just saying. Kron, my creature! Alright, I will actually remember to turn on the thing so I don't blind you all. This is from Bagel. Oh, this is Magos. Friday at 10:11, an individual broke into my collection and stole something very special to me. The individual only appeared as static in the video, and while my scarabs were sent to retrieve the virus that they stole, the individual decided it was better to destroy the case in which the Technomal virus was held. Virus! We're not having another infection arc. Please no. I highly recommend staying out of fresh water for the time being while at spawn. I'll be conducting tests in the meantime. If you see a creature that is acting erratic, has various growths, or fused with metal, please use a non-metal object to put it out of its misery. The virus is able to spread through fresh water but will destabilize in salt water. Symptoms may take days to show depending on the size of the organism. Infected are able to absorb weapons and tools. They know how to use them. I repeat once more, stay out of the fresh water at spawn. Symptoms. Armor feels like a second layer of skin. Fleshy growths will appear, short temper, and more. If you have any of these symptoms, come to me, Magos Silvex, alone, and I will ease these symptoms. May the machine guide us. Guys, did anyone go in the fresh water at spawn? Recently? I feel like it's a little late. Cure the water right now. No! I don't think I've been in the water, but I don't think Freya would be affected by, the water. You may have. It's so over. We got a light journal. Oh, damn it. I keep forgetting to turn on the thing. Sorry. Talic Pacific is Leon, the ghost. Dancing script is Light. Satisfy is question mark? Warning, a lot of cursing. I'll probably have to minimize it just because of Twitch's rules. I decided to change Light's mother to be the goddess of death she worships. She is unaware of this fact. Okay. The 5th day of the 9th month, the 6th era since the evanescence. An attack. A fucking attack. There was an attack and someone is in a coma. Why? Why is it that Freya's first instinct is to call a stupid meeting instead of tracking the attacker's trail while it was still fresh? It is a stupid waste of time. Yui, enough. Your magic is killing the grass around you. Right. Sorry, Leon. It just frustrates me that Freya wasted time and allowed that trail to go cold. By the gods, someone is in a coma and she just lets the attacker disappear without someone to hunt them. You are frustrated, little dragon. I cannot blame you. It is a stupid move to call a meeting and not have someone tracking the attacker's trail at the same time. You think like a general, Leon. Freya, she's like a child playing the role of a leader. She's naive, doesn't think properly, and makes stupid choices. But she isn't stupid, not from what I can tell. Naive, certainly, but not stupid. Her actions and choices are stupid at times, though. Next faction meeting, I'll speak up, if I am there. Let's pray something doesn't happen between now and then. Yes, let us hope nothing else happens. The 7th day of the 9th month, the 6th era since the evanescence. Stupid, unthinking, dung-eating, false goddess! Wake me up! Wake me up inside! Sorry. Anyway. Freya's getting so much hate recently, dude. I need to, like... No, there is a plan for her to make a comeback. Don't worry. Maybe. I want to shake Freya so much, letting that cursed mongrel, whoever they are, speak about reviving the dead, even just dead animals, with a fucking fungal parasite. I know that they are unable to see and feel the dead as I can, but surely they can't be this stupid. Why does anyone think that they are aggressive when they come back to life? They are in pain. No soul left behind. Bullshit. You'd be dragging the soul back to its body and then they'd be in constant pain. The shrieks of those taken by the evanescence already echo across the universe. It doesn't need revived animals who are in constant pain. Tears blur some of the ink. From the looks of it, the writer tried to continue writing for a bit but had to stop to give herself time to cry. And Freya, she leaves the decision of its use to the fucking faction leaders. Wasn't she so concerned about Okul and the House of Ocular Enlightenment? She's just proving my point. She's letting bad things happen without putting her foot down and straight up saying no. She's seen as a goddess, for goodness sake. What's to say that Okul will not agree to using that blasted parasite and using it against Freya? What's to say that this parasite will not spread out of control? Freya, how can you be so stupidly naive? Yuikima! Oh, damn it. Oh, great gods. I did it again. My ability reacted to my emotions, and now an entire biome is withered. Oops. You hadn't meant it, Yui. You're angry. Understandably so. That doesn't change the fact that an entire biome is ruined, Leon. Gods above, why do my powers keep changing? No other Tikinoku has ever done what I've done. You're still growing, little dragon. As you've said before, you may be over 1,000 years old. You're still merely a child compared to the rest of your species. This might just be your magic growing within you. Oh, growing with you. Maybe. I don't know. It's just weird and disconcerting. I want these changes to stop. They're starting to frighten me. What if someone gets caught in another one of my angry spouts? Then just keep your distance from populated areas when you write, like you did this time. Yeah, I'll do that. Thank you, Leon. Might try to assassinate Freya is a smarter way than when Ambush forced them to? Huh? Don't worry. I have later lore that is more of Okul being a D1 Freya hater. Oh, no. Dude, people hate Freya. And she might make some changes. I mean, like, she met with some of the faction leaders. She's like getting some cameras put up. She's getting comms devices for people. She's doing something at least, you know? But it's tough because like she really can't just locate Eclipse. She's as lost as the rest of them. Freya forgot me a bunch. I'm still working on trying to figure out how to change the username. Oh no. I'm low-key gonna start leaning into comedy for Okul's later Freya hating rants because there's already been so many serious ones. No matter what, it'll be humorous to me. A note in an unfamiliar handwriting. My dearest daughter, I am aware of your growing powers. Worry not, your powers will not hurt anyone when you do not intend so. This planet, so new and yet already starting to soak in blood. I pity Freya. Finally someone. By the time she sees her folly, so many will be dead. That fact will weigh heavy on her shoulders for the rest of her eternal life. Oh my god, this is kind of like, I don't know, making me feel something. Let not her actions frustrate you too much, my daughter. With much love, your mother. What in blazes? Who wrote this? Your mom! This right here. This, you understand Freya completely. Fantastic job. Alright, we have an old picture of a young child. Why is it still... There we go. An old picture of a young child holding her baby brother after he is born, with odd-colored lights around them both. The picture radiates magic, most likely a protection spell to keep the photo safe from harm. Clearly a well-loved photo. The colored circles are spirits as they would appear when captured by a camera. Aww. That's so cute. Collective Freya protest. Alright, we have some we don't have many days stuff here. Now this is lore right here. This is lore. Just a lot of Waters has at least gone from disliking, fearing to neutral about Freya, or just a lot of people crashing out on Freya. That's Mika saying. Kath, thanks for the 11 months of Prime. Fuck you, Bezos. Hey, we said it at the same time. All right, are we ready? Oh my god, it's taking forever to load. Hold on, my internet sucks. Neutral plus wildly confused because they presented a light interest in the maintenance environment of parks and how they head department. Alright, now they head department. Yeah, that's true. We should have them like sit down and talk at some point. Maybe, I know, Freya should have like a team bonding thing with all of the branch leaders. Is Saint here? I don't know. I'm making an eclipse eye. Mira's like, well, she isn't evil. She's nice. Oh yeah, when are we having Mira crash out about, like, you know, Freya not being a good boss? I need that to happen. Waters will be so out of depth here, no pun intended. not fucking trust exercises. Oh, the arm thing? Awesome. Oh man, dude, if Mira like gets really seriously injured at all, and Freya would be like, so when will you be able to return to work? No, she wouldn't be like that. She cares about Mira a lot. But she does rely on her for things. Freya is stinky! Mods, ban that guy. We already had staff bonding. Do we have to? Don't want to bond with people anymore. That would probably make her crash out. Alright, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Freya could at least say it in a way that's like, hey, I'm so sorry that, like, oh my gosh, you're hurt. Are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. And then, like, make a well-meaning comment about, like, you know, when are you gonna be able to be back? So actually, we're taking that out of your paycheck? No, she's not that toxic of a boss. They don't get paid at all. She doesn't have money. This is all volunteer work. Dante crashing on Freya. Dude, I would love, like, if Mira gets really hurt, she's probably not gonna have the energy to, like, fully crash out yet. But Dante chewing Freya out would be great. We still need to record the conversation, yes. I'm down for that whenever. Speaking of recordings, next week, well, maybe before Friday, so this week, we're getting more cute Freya and Marcelo voice thing. Virgil and I were recording it yesterday. Okay. Here we go. You'll want to watch this.
Hey, I brought you some fruit. And I got your journal back.
Thanks.
What's your name?
Arthur Casimir.
Arthur. That's a nice name. My name is Sona, but you should call me Eclipse. We have a protocol.
I don't care.
Alright? I'll leave you be. Let me know if you need anything. The others may seem scary, but I'm the one who really funds things here. I'll be back in the morning. Good night.
So, I want to hear your thoughts and theories about this right here and what it means. Just tell me, like, Casimir is Arthur confirmed they're related, but who's Arthur? I am so confused. Balloon animals. That's a thought. If you guys watch all of the We Don't Have Many Days videos, like things, they're lovers! I will say no! Eclipse was nice. Yup. Oh, I can't wait for you guys to get all of her lore. Oh! Sorry, I get a little bit excited. Can you at least figure out who this is in the image and, like, in the video? Also, shorts, rubbing your hands together. Fantastic job with this. Stall, it's almost done? What's almost done? Oh! Okay, you know, I'll make an exception. I'll make an exception for you to... I'll read your thing, even though technically it wasn't posted before the stream started. I'm a junior staff and I just figured out. My theory is something about the organization that made the machine, I forget the name, Echo. Indoctrinating people they capture from other organizations, but that's a loose theory. Ooh, I like that theory. It's Marcelo, guys! Well, what's your thought, Mika? I mean, like, I hide all this stuff, like, from staff, kind of. Spider-Man me with Shorts, Casimir, and Arthur. Is it Batman? Oh my god, this is young Bruce Wayne after his parents died. It's obviously This is Yelena putting Marcelo in a jail cell when he misbehaves. Makes let's run our 9/13 of a brain cell together figured out. Wait, is it Cypher? You're onto something. You're onto something, I think. Like I said, I would recommend, if you're interested in figuring out the story of Eclipse, because we know how many days has been posting like all this backstory stuff about Eclipse. Watch all of the videos that they've posted this season. It will give you more context, and I think it's a really good story. My theory is that Freya's Eclipse. You're just actually right. That's it. Season's ended, guys.
Driving in my car right after a beer.
Eclipse and Freya are the same. You're so right. Freya actually shot Krufik. But I swear if I don't watch stuff in lore POV because I focus on the audio engineering. True, I love doing audio engineering. If I could be like a professional audio engineer as like a job, oh, I would kill. I would kill for that. What if Eclipse is Marcelo and Freya at once? Why am I being attacked? Borged? The hell? Y'all are in VC attacking me right now. Ah! And
What's your name?
Alright,
My
get out of
name
your
is
system.
Human Morosity.
We're gonna keep
How
doing
old are
this.
you?
I'm 4 years old.
You are the youngest person ever.
Lizard.
You got it out of your system yet? I can turn off redeems. Ah! That wasn't very good, sorry. Ah! Oh my god. No, I have to. Sorry. On. You done? We're not doing this again. Ah! We're not doing this again. You know what I'm doing? You know what I'm doing? You know what I'm doing? Ah! Now, if you want to bonk me, you gotta pay for it!
Lizard.
Okay. On August 28th, this is Kingdom of Frostfire official documentation. This is something I forgot to read during the meeting. Ah! Canceling your Patreon. Ah! Don't do that. By the way, I have a Patreon. You should check it out. On August 28th, 1731, our Queen Krufik was shot in the head by an unknown assailant on Frostfire soil with a laser rifle. She was found by John Engler, who swiftly took her to the Keepers of Solace Hospital, where she is currently recovering. Feed the cats. I got 10 minutes. 10 minutes from now. But thank you. Our other citizens of Frostfire, luckily, were not injured during this event, including Mars, Verity, and Kassam Grims. Kassam? This leads us to believe this was a targeted event. With our leader out of commission, Eurillo and Morena will be overseeing the Kingdom of Frostfire until Krufik has fully recovered. They will protect the citizens of this faction through these hard times. If anyone has any information on the assailant, contact Eurillo. Any and all information is acceptable. This failed assassin will be dealt with accordingly, no matter the cost. Alea iacta est ad victoriam. That sucked, I'm sorry. Translation of the end script. Urillo sent this in the Frostfire Discord server. Translation of Russian and Doc. The die is cast to victory. That goes hard. Look what I found hidden in the library. This might be useful for a certain kingdom. Some pages are missing, though. I will find those eventually. The truth will always be found. Morana. Alfie's book. Interesting. Well, you don't look too happy. Shut it. Oh, come on. Are you really going to be grumpy? The last thing I want to deal with is you right now, so drop the book. Are you still moping about what happened? You do realize that this wouldn't have happened if you just... It is not my fault, it is hers. Oh? Only hers? Do not mistake that I'm excluding that god. He had the power to stop it, but he did not know. But she did. She knew. She just stood there, knowing the truth all that time. How long exactly? I do not know, but it was long enough. Long enough to say something instead of waiting while he rotted from the inside out. She had every chance to do something long before I even arrived. But she didn't, did she? I wonder why. Because she is a coward. A selfish, spineless coward who cannot stomach the idea of getting help from those she resents. She said nothing. Nothing until it was already too late. And then had the fucking audacity to start blaming others when he died. To bicker with the very person she should have told in the first place. I doubt she even bothered to see where his body lays now. So it wasn't your fault. You were in the right? Yes, I am right. No past tense about this. She let him die. And now I'm supposed to just... What? Cry? Move on? Forgive? She gets to keep going. Like nothing ever happened. While I get this. This fucking hole in my chest. Seems unfair. Someone should remind her what it feels like to lose something. Yeah, maybe someone should. I swear, if I ever see her again, I do not know what I will do. I do not know if I will scream, or put my hands around her throat, or shoot through that thick... or a shot through that thick skull of hers. I want to assassinate someone? Please don't. Actually, I could come up with someone you could assassinate. If you wanted. That's cool. Celestine lore! Let's go! Ooh. The sketches? Height 6'5"! 6'5", by the way. Celestine was the firstborn in her species after the anomaly. They soon realized she was ineffective and unpredictable. She was sent away for her mission, or so she was told. She arrived at Solace. Everyone there was so different, they thought she wouldn't stand out, and therefore wouldn't be significant. She did typical stuff, blessing people, homes, praying for loved ones. While she actually didn't do anything, her presence, as well as her ability to act like angels are depicted, made her a symbol. She quickly realized that something was wrong when she got injured. While angels do not live forever, they do not get physically injured, even when made immortal. They also should not have emotions, as well as negative thoughts. She was having all of these. She gets the curse she sees it affects. First, she thinks it's frostbite as her right limbs start turning black, but then these markings appear. It isn't painful at first until it starts eating away at her. She is no longer seen how she once was. Her composure is falling, and the admiration she once received is turned to disgust and horror. Stop saying 6'7". She leaves for the caves. She hides from everyone, confused and afraid. She tries to pray for some answer, but none of the angels answer her. She is found. By who? I don't know, but they help her. They build her... IDK, but they help her. They build her some prosthetics, which aren't the best, but work well enough. She was also given the chance to customize them slightly, so she does so with the bird leg. Her disease is getting worse. It's becoming something else. Out of confusion, she hurt the one that helped her. She leaves, apologizing profusely and deciding it might be best to stay away from others. She hides away again, confused and hopeless. She builds resentment for those who sent her here, wondering why. She eventually finds the rock. She sits by it. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Sorry. She sits by it and finds its presence calming, almost comforting. Her thoughts start to feel like her own again. She quickly realizes the crystal somehow suppresses the parasite and its rage. She turns it into a staff, which she carries with her constantly. She ventures out into the world again, mostly covering her nasty blemishes. She hears some talk about the monastery, like seeing some posters and stuff advertising it. She goes there, and after learning much about what it is and how its belief system works, she sacrifices her only good wing to the pit. She mostly does this as a way to spite those who made and cursed her. She later becomes the low priestess to the monastery. I guess we'll read through this. It's not too long. She's generally very calm, what you would expect an angel to act like. Once I'm done with this, I will go feed the pets. She was taught to lack emotions, and much of her kind can comprehend some in general. This is... I forgot I wrote all this? Oh no. Would be a shame if someone stole that staff! Did someone steal it? Oh my god. Should you? Don't steal it. That sounds mean. However, becoming mortal has made this difficult. She's found herself feeling things she should never feel, like loathing and love. She's good at hiding these things, but struggles with it daily since she can't really comprehend what is good or bad. When she is hiding something, sometimes her parasite shows it for her. LOL. Her posture is very poised. She has an elegant walk that is ruined by her distasteful prosthetics. They're clunky, old, and unkempt. The only way she can move them so well is with the parasite moving them for her. She speaks in a fancier tone, also like what you would imagine an angel to sound like. Her words are chosen carefully. She rarely stutters, and she speaks with certainty, unlike me. However, the parasite has affected her vocal cords, so sometimes she coughs a lot or sounds a little more raspy. Like me. She hides much of her dismemberment, but later comes to terms with it, especially because everyone here is so different from her home world, where perfection is expected. Her species are not really born, more like created, made in a world of immortal beings similar to her. These beings are eventually sent on missions to different worlds. They have no real religious connections. Their only mission is to help others to bring peace and unity. Their looks, wings, robes, etc., are used to give a youthful, calming presence. There aren't many of them. Maybe one is made every few years. Her species are immortal. They can fly and be teleported across worlds. They can understand any spoken language. When sent down to different worlds, this generally stays the same. This was not the case for Celestine. She was almost completely mortal. She can now feel emotions, hunger, thirst, etc. The only power she still wields is understanding any spoken language. This species is created. When made, they are basically adults, if not old teens. They learn their ways and are later sent to fulfill what they were made to do. After the anomaly, their species generally stayed hidden, confused about all of these deaths. After the major atrocities were dwelling, they sent people out again to help those who needed it. Their composure and confident presence was reassuring for most, even when they had no idea what was happening themselves. The parasite only affects angels, so it cannot spread to other people. It first infests the skin through markings. These look more like tattoos than anything damaging. As it infests, the parasite digs deeper, infesting parts of the nervous system. It grows outwardly too, manifesting as grotesque lumps and lesions. At this stage, I just realized you guys probably want it like this. At this stage, it eats away flesh and bone. Controlling the nervous system allows it to do this with less harm to the subject, which is less effective when the host has human intelligence. It eventually can take control of the central part of the nervous system, the brain. Once that part is controlled, there is no going back, and the host is slowly eaten alive. Celestine's parasite is at a higher stage. It cannot control her thoughts, but understand them. It has most control of her insides, mostly her muscle and cardiovascular systems. However, without control of the brain, it is unable to do much. It has no emotions or feelings apart from desire and rage, which the crystal compresses. It is simply watching everything, waiting for a chance to continue infecting. And here are some sketches. Aw, with Strawberry. That's so cute. Alright, I'm gonna go feed the pets and maybe grab another bowl of cereal. I'll be back. back. I have a second bowl of cereal. It is not my favorite type, but it's like Special K strawberry yogurt or something. Has like little yogurt bites in it. It's pretty good. My favorite cereal of all time is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. My favorite cereal that I will eat regularly is probably Life. All right. Continuing on. Finish chewing. Lucky Charms. I like Raisin Bran, actually. That's like... Should I make a cereal tier list? Hold on. Cereal tier list. Okay, Apple Jacks, C tier, D tier, C tier, D tier. Berries suck. Peanut butter is okay. Cheerios are A. Honey Nut Cheerios are S. Chocolate Cheerios are B. Frosted are A. It's not bad. I don't think I've tried that. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Cocoa Puffs, Cookie Crisp, Corn Flakes are top tier. Pops are pretty good. I don't like that. Cracklin' Oat Bran, yes. Eggos. Anything berry is disgusting. That shouldn't go with milk. I don't know. French Toast Crunch is like slightly below regular. Fruit Loops are okay. Frosted Flakes are good. I feel like these are kind of like my... If I go to a hotel, I'll get these. Frosted Mini Wheats are good. I don't think I've tried those. Gorilla Munch. Where's like the peanut butter Panda Puffs? Those were what I used to eat all the time growing up. Honey Bunches of Oats is really good too. I don't think I've tried those. Kicks were like my entire childhood. Cinnamon Life and Regular Life are both good. Crave is like not very good. I don't know what those are. Lucio O's? Like from Overwatch? What the hell? Lucky Charms are like C tier. I don't think I've tried those. Oreos sound good. Cocoa Pebbles are like there. Fruity Pebbles, gross. I have not tried Pop-Tart, whatever. Raisin Bran, I don't like the crunchies much. Reese's Puffs is okay. Rice Krispies is good. Cocoa Krispies is less good. Have not tried s'mores. Have not tried Sour Patch. Special K is like okay. What is that Special K? Oh, fruit and yogurt? It's like C tier. Mini Wheats, strawberry, not as good. Wheaties are kind of eh. Tricks I don't like. Waffle Crisp I've never had. Alright, there you go. That's my tier list. Alright, fastest tier list in the West. This isn't a lore doc. It is. That was canon. Okay. Found a book on the path outside the new Parks and Rec near the community center. Does not have an author, but I am not too keen on what this person may mean by useful. Oliver. Type Selkie. Annoying yet loyal. Keep around. May be useful if war does strike out. Useful when dehydrated. Frog. Oh my god. Is this like listing people? Frog, somehow related to Oliver. Interesting place to live, yet they could be useful since they seem to know many people. Useful. Leif, big dragon man. Definitely useful to use for brute force or heavy equipment. Very useful. Violence, silly clown but knows many people. Quite talkative. Useful. Freya, not a bad person, but her leading is questionable. I've started to fear that she may not be doing enough for this planet given the recent death and attempted assassination. If she doesn't do something soon, I'm afraid more issues will occur. Not useful or unuseful, just she sucks. Feather, frog sibling, useful. Truffle, unsure of this interesting clown, unsure. Zell, leader of the Joker's Corner. For now I follow, but I haven't seen enough what he can potentially do for solace. Lots of people know of this clown, useful. Just the news. Seems okay as it is just the news. I can use this to keep more updated. Useful. Joker's Corner. Lots of silly clowns, but they all seem competent enough to protect each other. Very useful. More. The HOE. No, these people defy order, and I don't believe they're just looking for what's right for Solace. Avoid. Lilac expeditions. Many smart people. Lots are trustworthy, yet I have not met all of them. May be useful. Very useful. Freya's incorrect serial tier list? Mods ban trouble. The librarians. Seem pretty peaceful, haven't done much, but give good info like the news. Useful. Sunny. A child that is often with someone I believe is trustworthy. No threat from this one. We must give some sort of image and protection to this little one. Useful. Casimir. Deceased? Question mark, question mark? Who is this? Who is in the corner? Kron. Seen often, yet not much interaction yet. Unsure. Mira. Very smart individual, seems to be with Sunny often. Useful. Interesting? I'm, like, concerned? What am I, chopped liver? Freya and Violence are dissing your cereal and VC? Well, let me see your cereal tier list, huh? I'll judge it. Make a cereal tier list. Pancake. I was like, damn, my character is dissing me? The link is, I just literally Googled cereal tier list to pick the first one. Sorry. Trying to chew so I don't speak with my mouth full. I have realized recently that most of my stomach issues that I've had my whole life are because I eat too fast. I don't chew my food. So I've been trying to chew more. It's really difficult. From Lucky. Been looking for that old book for ages. I made a book when I first began my livings here on Solace, and I've stupidly lost it. If this thing gets into incompetent hands, I may have an issue with what's inside. I enjoy my life here in Solace. I do very much hope these old writings won't change how people think about me, even if I believe some of what I wrote is still true. Oh? Was that this book? I found a few of the missing pages from the book between books. No truth hides forever. Marana. Sorry! I didn't expect it to, like, flashbang. Freya, just rewrote the second verse of Stowaway Stan for you to review. Awesome sauce! Do I need to play Stowaway Stan again? No. I will refrain from it. I cannot believe it. Wow. Wow. Now that is interesting. How old was he? Where's the file on him? Or something. I need to know how old he was. By the pictures of him, I would say maybe in his 20s. He was being used and they just cut through it. Made it seem like he was being replaced by a clone of him? Just like that? You seem upset there. Don't tell me you feel sorry for this guy. There were so many other ways they could have handled it. What if Eclipse convinced him? What? You really think Eclipse would have gotten through to him? Wasn't he already too far gone? No, he was listening to her. He wanted her opinion. You can see it. She could have helped him. Or he could have blown this planet sky high while Eclipse whispered pretty words into his ear. Freya and her little team must have thought that. Maybe they couldn't bear the thought of dealing with these three individuals with such power that all of them would have combined. And he will never find out the truth. They covered their tracks, silenced her. They didn't even let her finish. She was the only one he seemed to trust, the only one who could reason with him. They played God, when none of them are deserving of such a title. No one deserves such a title, when they cannot even live up to it. Nobody talks about this, but this is very, very good commentary on what happened. Recovered page 2. I just realized, was there a second tab to the other one? I hope not. You really don't like deities anymore, do you? Not particularly. You're planning to kill one, I see? Who are you killing? Loomis! Yes! Which one is that again? I forgot. Loomis. Doesn't ring a bell, I'm afraid. What did she do to make you hate her? Maybe that'll jog my memory. Fuck off. Struck a nerve, did I? You're not even sure who you're angry at, who you want dead. What are you talking about? I know what. Really? That's weird because I don't think you do. You seem to blame everyone for everything that goes wrong, or rather goes a way you don't like you're confused. I'm not confused. Let me explain, all right? You blame Loomis for causing the sickness. You blame the Empress for not telling anyone about it. You blame the other god for not paying it any attention more. And that is only one topic. You blame the people of this planet for killing each other. You blame the creator of the planet for not just letting everyone rebuild on their own planets. If it was not for this planet and not for me finding it, you would be dead in space. Only because you would die with me. You wanted to use my body to kill me yourself because you needed me for a blood source. I get it now. This is Alfie and the ick, whatever it is. The parasite. Oh, and finally, you constantly blame me. There's another one. What effort did you ever make to help this planet? What did you do to save him? I did the best I could. I did everything I could. Well, it certainly wasn't enough. Most of the time you stayed moping in your house, feeling sorry for yourself, drowning yourself in these potions like an addict. You are a bad person, a selfish one, but you are too ashamed to admit it, to blame yourself for once. You only want Loomis dead because the guilt of not being enough might die with her, but you will only become addicted to hurting and killing those who wronged you in a desperate attempt to get rid of the doubt. If you ever pick up this book again, I will rip you from my flesh, tear skin from muscle, from bone, until there's nothing left of me that could hold you. I will peel myself open and drag you out strand by strand until you are nothing but a stain in the dirt. You only prove my point. But fine, one day you might get rid of me, yes. That isn't impossible. But if those you spoke of end up dead, don't even try playing innocent. Just keep your mouth shut. This is so good. I love the back and forth. Absolute Gatsby. What's the ping in? Staff? I'm not looking at staff. I'm not looking at staff. I'm joking. Sorry, I saying the freaking thing. I love Ashby. I'm joking. Hey, I hope they like my ritual. This was, oh my god, this was outside the community center too. I'm freaking out. Why are we ritualing me? Why are we ritualing Freya? Why did it get away from me? We have The Early Days from Lux. 1 year after the Great Anomaly. The rituals are amazing in my opinion. I don't know about that. They're doing it to Kron? What is the ritual? Sorry, let me mute while I chew. You cooked with the verse? Oh, hold on, let me look at this. Oh, you put it in the document, probably. Mmm. That's good. You did cook. I'm so ready to sing that. S&P General. The correct one? Peanut Butter Captain Crunch. Cinnamon Toast Crunch belongs up there. This belongs in F tier. That's good. I can believe that. Crave is ass, bro. Crave is ass. They don't put enough chocolate in it. Apple Jacks are also bad. Reese's Puffs, I can't say anything bad about Reese's Puffs because that's Virgil's favorite cereal. I haven't tried Golden Crisp, so I don't know what to say about that. Life cereal in D tier is criminal. Cracklin Oat Bran, I can understand. It's like, it's an acquired taste and, like, you know, preference. But Mini Wheats? Bro, I love Mini Wheats. Don't do Mini Wheats like that. I transposed all lyric changes into Google Doc. Okay. Dude, all the cereal I like is bad for you. Don't listen to me. Frey, I know you don't read anything submitted during the stream. I just finished the official lore I was writing. Yes, I am making an exception for you, comment. Don't worry. Here's a controversial question. How long, like, from straight out of the box to mush, what's the best texture for cereal? You sent yours in DM? Fruity Pebbles? You just like fruit! Just eat fruit! It'll be better than for you. Just eat like candy. You're not a cereal person. Crunchy? Right after putting in milk? That's criminal. Milk cereal bowl. No, I'm not asking how what order you put cereal together. How soggy? I'm a soggy cereal kind of gal. If it's not mush, I don't like it. Alright. Back to this. Ah! Alright, where were we? The early days. Fruity Pebbles. Okay, I get the Fruity Pebbles don't taste like fruit. Eat candy with milk for all I care. Oh, sorry. The jump scare was way too loud. Sending me into a coughing fit. There we go. Gotta stack my bowls. Fruity Pebbles taste like off-brand Laffy Taffy. Thank you. Disgusting. The halls of Varus' largest interplanetary port were empty of all but a few souls scurrying off to their destinations. Lux nodded politely to the lone guard, but their focus remained on the poorly lit offices in the center of the building. Lux could hear the machines whirling just as loud as they did before the divide. They let out a sigh of relief as a familiar head poked over the center computer. Arthas. Not even the end of the world could keep you from work, can it? They grinned. The typing stopped as he looked them straight in the eyes. No hello after all this time? Where have you been? I thought you were lost. The rest of my team didn't make it, they shrugged, trying hard not to think of what that meant. I left for home first. Marthas frowned. And they weren't there? No, of course not. Why would Lux be there alone instead of with their remaining family? They couldn't wait forever. Not with the way the surrounding systems were crumbling. Well, it's a good thing I remembered. It's a good thing I remember how cool Nocti technology is. Bet they took one of those old school generation ships. He rolled his chair over to a side monitor. You know, if your people ever went back to that Soul Pact group, I doubt they would even recognize your tech. 300 years is a long time. They peeked over his shoulder. The list of visiting ships from the past month was shorter than they expected. It would be more surprising if it didn't change. You're not wrong. He started punching in a code before they both knew Lux wouldn't recognize. Sure, it wasn't technically legal for Lux to be looking, but neither of them cared to mention it. Still doing knowledge for knowledge? They asked. He raised his hand. His hands. Why, of course. Varus remains stable as long as you stay in the city, and I have no real monetary needs. He leaned forward. So, little elf of the exiled, I'll tell you where your fancy ship is heading if you tell me where you've been. Sometimes Lux wondered what their odd friend did with their information. As isolated as his position was, it seemed unlikely he had access to more nefarious figures, but as long as it never hurt them or their people, they avoided the topic. I was going to refuel at Salopon, they admitted, but they've been under lockdown, shooting down ships since the early days. Marthas gave a sharp whistle. And their sister planet? Apparently, the Queen is furious. If the Council had been reporting imports accurately, the planet should have run out of ammo months ago. And let me guess, the Council is all gone, so those left are hoping to extend their meager lives by making their threats last longer than the Queen's anger. They cringed. The leaders, at least. Isn't that always the case? It's never the average system that gets to decide their fate. His focus returned to the computer, a hand tapping on the desk. You'll be glad to know your people aren't going that direction. He pointed towards the screen. They arrived about 2 months ago, brought enough fuel for an uninterrupted year's travel, and then left towards the galactic edge. Lux wasn't sure how to feel. They knew it'd be hard to catch up on their people. After all, they hadn't grown up hearing the horror stories of those who had escaped their home planet. Strategy was required to avoid the same fate. Even still, they'd hoped the journey would be finished soon, but now it looked like only the start. Marthas must have noticed their emotions. It's not as bad as it seems. He pulled up a map. Look, there's really only 3 systems that direction worth the trip. Plus, anything past this point, they would risk running low on supplies. They weren't sure how much they believed the way Martha simplified things, but it was better than the alternative. Instead, they redirected the conversation. Are you really planning on remaining on Varus, even with what's happening on the far side? He gave a small smile. Sometimes staying is the only choice left. I think you'll understand that one day, little elf. Fleeing can only take you so far, especially when you take others into account. No, they didn't think they would. I'll visit once I find them. Well, you better come back before I turn you into an old man, he chuckled. Remember, most species don't live as nearly as long. Sorry. Remember, most species don't live nearly as long as you lot do. They frowned. I know. They understand what Marthas was actually saying. A warning put into a jest. Don't run after them forever. What else were they supposed to do? Oh, maybe they could imagine what kept their friend trapped on a failure of a planet. And maybe they would ignore that epiphany for as long as they could. Marthas was never one for drawn-out goodbyes. He was already back to typing as they walked out the door, the printed-out coordinates and map in their hand. Sure, they had never traveled fully alone, but they weren't incompetent. They would find their family, even in the messed-up world they found themselves in. That's so cool. I love stuff that mentions the Soul Pact. And also talks about what happened right after the Great Anomaly. Dude, I need more people to write stuff that's like right after the Great Anomaly and like the immediate impact. Because there's so much. There's so much. The ritual shall commence. No prayer shall save you now. From Vire. That's concerning. Yeah, no rush, Kath. You sent a pic of your cereal? Alright, hold on. Bananas and cereal are good. That's the only fruit allowed. Yeah, I'm hypocritical. Once off assistance. Something interesting happened. I was just looking for Froggy around the HOE base. I had mentioned that she'd forgotten the frog teddy when she left Kron's home in one of my other short logs. When I got there, it was rather deserted, which was not particularly anything new. It was often like that whenever I passed by, but after a few minutes of looking around, I ran into Sunny, the youngest member of the faction. We talked for a while. Mainly it was me answering her questions, most of which related to my age and the fact I was Unk. I do not want to know what that means, but I'm going to assume it is similar to Riz. Which I know from Angel, he used to say it every now and then. Thankfully, I did not have to answer the "Do you have Riz?" question from Sunny, as General Okel walked out of what I presume was her office. It took me a second to allow her to see me. Her mind is very crowded. I heard things that are none of my business to repeat. As expected, she was not pleased to see someone from outside her alliances congregating with those in her faction. It is understandable. I was in her territory uninvited after all, and I would have stayed hidden if Sunny was not speaking with me. I did not want General Okel to think that the young one was speaking to the heir or an imaginary friend. I am real, so I might as well make that known. Whatever little comments she made about me being with the Salacians and their pathetic leader, I ignored. She was more subtle about it, yes, but it was quite obvious what she was implying. I am not part of anything. I am someone living on the planet and that is it. But wasting energy explaining to her would be pointless. It would not even go through her non-existent ears. But I apologized for intruding. Wait, I thought... I guess they technically don't have ears, do they? They have, like... That's the technical term. I explained that I was looking for Froggy to return something to her, to which General Okel responded disinterestedly that she did not know where Froggy was. Jaded, as she went about a few workstations littered within the HOE walls. After that, I gave up trying to speak with her, so I just asked Sunny to tell Froggy that I, Croy, was looking for her, to which Sunny agreed. I trust the young girl. She is very truthful, sometimes concerningly so. But of course, it was not that simple. Surprisingly, General Okel stopped me before I could vanish for her and Sunny's senses. Apparently, Froggy and Sunny had told her about the ghost who can create anything with the tar from his body, who can disappear and reappear from the radar of most people's senses whenever they wish. One who was the two young ones' friend. I could not exactly deny it after she started asking questions, her attitude almost completely changing. Of course, the apprehensiveness was still there, but it was slightly less obvious. It felt a bit like an interrogation, the more she asked. Most of the questions were about how my powers worked, the durability, if I could get hit, if there were any weaknesses. At one point, there was a question about how I met Froggy and Sunny, and why I was somewhat close to them. Sunny I met through Froggy, and Froggy I met during a standoff between General Okel and Freya, which I'm sure I mentioned before. I did almost bring up the confrontation that Froggy and General Okel had when the general was not exactly in the present, but I redirected it, and she did not mention anything of it again. This all eventually led to a discussion which brought forth an offer. She explained it more thoroughly, and I agreed. It is only a once-off assistance. Besides, I was considering doing what the goal of this offer was on my own for a while, long before this. Some extra help would not be the worst. If things play out how they were written and presented. Just play your part, Croy. If something is done that contradicts it, it is not your responsibility to try and protect anyone. In, search, taken out, distract if needed. Interesting? Stealing? Becoming a thief? Stop! Stop! What are you trying to do to me? Why are there so many? What are you trying to do? Viewing. University of Harmonian Agreement, Professor Arth's course on Harmonian religions. Now that you all have a base level of knowledge, I think the best place we can start is the House of Ocular Enlightenment, the pantheon of Third Sight's main 8 gods. Obviously, there is more than just those 8, but those ones aren't a part of the House of Ocular Enlightenment. At the top, the god emperor of the house, we of course have Divinitus, the god of foresight, divination, and victory in battle. Worship of him is going to be the most common among groups that are more warlike, because they want to be blessed with his ability to foresee the outcomes of the future battles. He was also one of the few virgin gods, as he never wed or bore children. Under him is Ardenia, the goddess of spiders and seizure of man. She acts as sort of a second-in-command and peacekeeper among the gods. Honest, god of judgment, the balance of neutrality. She holds the position of judge of mortals and gods alike, working with Ardinia to make sure all remain equal under the law. Vakus, goddess of origins, the protector of paths. He often butts heads with Ardinia because of his overprotective nature of humanity, often attempting to stop Ardinia from apprehending those who have done wrong. Rise, deity of knowledge, scripture of truth, expert of hindsight. He often works closely with Divinitus, as the past is the key to the future. Rise and Divinitus, upon the creation of the house, were almost never seen apart, as their knowledge directly complemented each other and made them an almost unstoppable force. Eretrace, the god of fortune for merchants and traveling, guardian of misfits and the discarded. He often associates closely with Vakus because of a shared care for mortals, even if Eretrace's is more specific. Milan, the god of bloodlines and familial ties, weaves the threads that forever bind together families, birth, and found. No matter what happens, she ensures they will always be connected. And lastly, Asteron, the deity of space and cosmos and everything not yet known. They often disagree with Eretrace and Vakus, harboring a distaste for humanity as everything humanity learns and discovers, their domain grows smaller. Almost every one of these gods has stories and examples of them interacting with other gods, be it on one or in groups. One-on-one or in groups. And I hope to touch on some of the most interesting examples and tales later on. That's so cool. I love when people like deepen the like world building of where their character is from. This is really cool. With Freya, I'm kind of stuck because like they don't have like a religion or anything. The most that they had was like a little community and whatever. I've been thinking of like kind of writing a little bit how like she, I don't know, what it was like for her to first exist and have so much power. I need to write down something real quick. More? What are you trying to do to me? More heads! Send help. Anomaly 7, mouse. Looking glass configuration code 015 DLC. Sketch. Anomaly 07, or mouse, appears to be a creature with the body of a computer mouse and the limbs, eyes, and ears of the animal mouse. It is believed that Mouse lives in an abandoned laboratory. It is unknown what events led to this place's abandonment, as any document that Mouse walked by was written in an unknown language. The only knowledge about the laboratory is the logo that is half scratched out on the lower back of Mouse. While observed, it is believed that Mouse is a passive creature, as it was seen to hide and avoid any creatures that roamed the laboratory. Mouse appears to have the ability to access computer terminals by connecting itself into any open port, giving itself access to anywhere in the laboratory. Mouse's diet seems to consist of lithium-ion batteries, as it was observed to seek and consume batteries by lifting the front two plates of its face and swallowing it. Future observation is required to understand who or what created it. Researcher Angler. I love their new logo, by the way. This is so cool. Also, this is like giving big SCP vibes. Or lore! It's lore! So true. Eclipse personal sightings. Let's go. Come on. There we go. This. There we go. Eclipse personal sightings. Dated from 21st of June to the 8th of September. May extend. 21st of June. First sighting. Location Missile Silos Ruins. Miraju and Cypher final stand. I was exploring and found Eclipse carrying Cypher's body towards an open area in the center of the ruins. She buried him and built a small headstone. She did it quickly before running off. 31st of July, second sighting. Location, Aratus faction. I spotted her sneaking around and peeking in through the windows of the obviously spying. She then moved out of sight as some people, which I presume were the faction members, walked out. 8th of August, third sighting. Location, East Island, Danny's Island. I was looking for materials for Kron when I passed by her. She was spying on the lawyer and the spider person, Mira and Minnie. That was until Mira saw her and chased her off 20 minutes later. 10th of August, 4th sighting. Location, Shuttle, Severius' faction. She had passed through me when I was looking for someone's home. I followed her to a small camp which I presumed she owned. She had a satchel under her cloak, and a few pastries from Sarah's bakery had fallen out. She must have taken them as a source of food. She cleaned up the small camp soon after and continued on her way. I let her be then. You don't remember this? I thought, didn't Mira chase after Eclipse? This is from Croy, so you wouldn't have seen him. 11th of August, 5th sighting. Location, House of Ocular Enlightenment faction base. I saw her running away with resources through the forest. General Okel was looking around from within the faction walls with her sword drawn. I guess she had seen Eclipse, then lost her. I love how this is referencing, like, is that too bright? Maybe it is. I love how this is referencing other people's stuff they've written. It's so good. 17th of August, 6th sighting. Location, Kindlegrim Forest. This was after Froggy had come to me from the confrontation she had from General Okel. Kron, Froggy, and I were all in the bunker, and I stepped outside a moment after hearing something. I saw Eclipse holding some Kindlegrim, devouring some of the food from the communal chest down at the beach. I think I made her see me without realizing, as she stared at me for a while after eating before hurriedly walking away. This one is crossed out. 29th of August, 7th sighting. Location, Frostfire Forest. I was passing through out of curiosity to go to the faction festival. I was late. 8th of September, 8th sighting. Location, Keepers of Solace. I had just left the faction leader meeting. There were only the 5 of us there, including Freya. She was fishing under the bridge. I threw a rock in the water to scare her and make her leave before she was spotted by anyone. Oh. Interesting. So you're on Eclipse's side, huh? Keeping her from being spotted? Damn. Traitor. We got Raccoon Log. So, I screwed up. You know how people say making deals with the devil? Yeah, I did that. And now there's a stupid rose in my wrist and it's getting itchy. I guess that's what the other gods were talking about when deals get itchy. The marking looks cool, but now I owe Ambush a task, so that's wonderful. I need to learn that not everyone is good, but I also need to not go back into that numb state again. I also scraped the silence mask sigil. I won't be needing that anymore, but yeah, I guess that's it for now. Hopefully I don't come back with some gruesome news. Belios. Uh-oh. What are you gonna have to do? Confronting. Oh yeah, so I think some context for this. Do you remember the thing that, like, Lux sent out a message to Okel in the House of Ocular Enlightenment apologizing? The hall of the courthouse was silent. Lux was handling some documents. They were finishing up some of the registry processing when a set of footsteps were heard through the hall and were muffled by the door. Mira would occasionally run around the courthouse when her fiancé came to visit or drop off food, but Lux was startled when Mira opened the door. I thought you were smarter than what you did. Mira stepped into the room, closing the door. She seemed composed. Too composed, if Lux was right about what Mira was referring to. You can't go making enemies, Mira. Lux stood up from their seat. They knew Mira was young, impulsive, even, but Lux knew that they had to fix Mira's damage for the meantime. And you can't just do stuff without letting Zell or me know about it. Mira sighed and then sat down at one of the chairs, her back slumped like she always did. Give me a second. They both were in silence, their breathing being the only thing that was heard. Mira was looking at Lux, then away, then rubbing her forehead. Lux poured themselves a cup of tea, drinking it quietly. It continued until Mira finally let out a long sigh. All right, explain. Mira was looking at Lux with a hint of anger, but it was more controlled. We can't be fighting two powers at the same time. The HOE is a powerful tool. They can be useful. The hoe is a powerful tool. See what you did there. Their arms moved softly like their voice, and even carried some kind of soothing energy with their actions. Mira looked at Lux and then sighed. You think that they'll be too busy to think about going against Solace? She let out a frustrated laugh. She moved her arm in a waving motion as if dismissing an idea. Okel is not that dumb. She wants the power over everything. She will use anything to make herself look better than what she is. She will use anyone to make herself shine brighter than Freya. Lux looked calm, their backs still straight and their gaze still calm. But if they're a part of the guard against Eclipse, they'll be distracted. Mira interrupted, slamming her hand... Oh, but if they're a part of the guard against Eclipse, they'll be... Oh, wait. I don't know which one is Mira interrupting. Mira interrupted, slamming her hand on the desk. They will have the information of all factions that are in our favor, of all power we have, of all resources and our own weaknesses. Mira stood up. I'll be honest, Lux. I don't trust them. I think you know that, and I know that you don't think that they're just a pest. I'm willing to negotiate with them, but if they say anything more, I will make sure that the house will not break solace. They stood in silence, both of them knowing that they were not enemies, but their views were in the way. I'll schedule a meeting with the HOE. I hope you will attend, Lux said with the same calmness, sipping their cup of tea. I'll be there, Mira said with a bit of humor and walked out, door closing with a soft click. Interesting. Some tension between just the first, week or so of the, well, I guess it's a couple weeks now. Oh! That genuinely scared me. I don't know what I was saying. Continuing on. Journal. From Truffle. This week has been pretty good, all things considered. I ended up joining the House of Ocular Enlightenment now! It feels good to have a more protective faction I can always turn to. I don't know if there's much else for me to say. I guess there's been a sort of hunt going on for the person who assassinated Krufik. It feels like the amount of people who are doing that anymore have decreased, though. It's honestly kind of disturbing how everyone seems to have moved on so quickly. I get that most likely didn't know her personally, but she nearly died. Honestly, considering the ratio of Solace's population to amount of attempted murders, I should have half a mind to repair that spaceship and get the hell out of here. True. At least I know what it's like to survive in less than favorable conditions. Also, probably good that I have protection in the form of the House of Ocular Enlightenment. On that note, it also feels mentionable that Okul wants my involvement in a special project of theirs. I wonder if we will find out what that special project is. Visions of a Father. We're eating up with the glitch, the Okul lore. Glitch writing Okul lore. Why aren't you awake yet? My eyes fly open, the voice-activated muscle memory I'd forgotten I had, and I jumped out of bed at full attention, fully saluted before I even realized who was speaking. And then I do realize. I detract my salute. What are you doing here? How are you even here? You're supposed to be dead. And what made you think that? The voice was charismatic and poisonous. I knew it too well. I knew it well. To think me dead is akin to believing the world has stopped spinning. You were a fool to think I was gone. I taught you better, Aki. His voice cut deep like a blade. Everyone else died. Divinitas took them. You were nowhere to be seen. You should have been dead. My fist clenched in anger. Why are you back? I'm back because Milan has decided so, and because you have sundered the legacy I left you with. You've become weak. I've become more than you'll ever be. I've spent my time on this planet fighting a goddess, something you could have only dreamed. And what do you have to show for it? A pitiful group, writing off the name of our Divine One's pantheon, converting only the young and weak-minded. You will never be the leader I am. You will only ever be a lowly executioner. I couldn't stand his grating voice anymore. I scream. I lose sight of everything in the bouncing sound waves, and he is gone. I think I'm losing my mind. Oh, man. Okul is losing her mind. You know, I remember it's very difficult to have, a character that you so, you really, threw her into the trenches. Everyone does not like Okul. But you really, started to win people over, I think. At least to me. Okul is dealing with a lot. And obviously I disagree with her actions, but I feel very bad for her. Have fun with these. Ambush. Context for videos after watching them. Truffle ends... Oh, context for after watching them. Okay. I will not...
Hi, Seraphin. How are you? Has the bakery been doing good?
Oh, hello, Truffle. It's been... kind of okay. Just some old stuff coming back to, haunt me.
You good? You could always come to someone if you're going through something, whether that be me or someone else.
I tried already, but something happened. Something I regret.
What happened, Seraphin?
It is Seraphim.
I hate it when you people try to get stuff out of her.
Seraphin? You're not Seraphin.
Wow, so smart. You know, for a thing a part of the circus, you sure aren't that funny. Wait, let me guess your big joke. Your birth.
Maybe it'll be my death. But you're not Seraphin. I need to find someone.
And where do you think you're going? We have so much to talk about.
I don't need to kill Seraphin to disable you. I only need to knock her unconscious.
Oh. Oh my. She hasn't told you anything. You poor unfortunate soul. Someone else already tried to knock me out. As you can tell, it doesn't work.
Well, then maybe I just need to hit harder.
Jeez!
Want to try that again?
What are you?
That's a good question. I am hatred, pure and still. So, are you gonna continue your little attacks, or can we make a deal?
Your terms.
Easy. Poison someone. Anyone.
This will let you infect someone else, won't it?
Wow, you are really smart. Yes and no. All it does is allow me to control them for a little while.
Well, damn my soul if I gave this to anyone else.
I guess you will do well for my plan.
Yeah, the voice effects are so good. That's so scary! Ah! The people want a strong leader and are not getting good vibes from the current one. I agree. And this was, honestly, I wasn't planning on having, I was planning on kind of bringing up that Freya isn't doing a good job at all of this, but I've really been playing it up because Glitch has created such a great character with Okul, and it makes such a good, like, opposite to Freya, or it's like both, you know, Freya's the lesser of two evils here. Freya's not doing much, but at least the things that she is doing are good. Okul just wants power. Pure and simple. Anyway, I'm excited for the next one.
Whoa, what was that?
That was me.
How interesting. Looks like no real injury.
Who will be next, Cypher? What? My voice acting was so bad there. I recorded that like midnight last night. Whoa, what was that? Yeah, okay, so Freya has had an attempted assassination in a way. J. Freya K. Context for videos after watching them. Truffle ends off drinking some of the goo that the hatred is made of, and Ambush makes them try and JFK Freya. But since Freya's a projection, all it did was go through them and leave a hole. Yeah. It kind of just went like, pew, and she was like, what the heck? Get down, Ms. Lumarin! Freya needs communication training? True. That was like a sitcom. Whoa, what was that? Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It was so bad. I promise I can do better than that. It was just really late at night and I forgot about it until like I was about to go to bed and I was like, What? How would she even say? Like, she'd be kind of like, "Oh, that's kind of cool. Someone trying to hurt me. Hee hee ha ha." She can't die. By the way, Cypher is one of my characters. They're the general from the war that Saren Ambush was from. I was like, "You're gonna shoot him in the head? Let us shoot them in the head like Cypher." Oh yes. When Virgil told me, "Whoa, there's a 6.5 minute long audio thing that someone just posted," I'm like, "Oh, wonder who could that be?" And then it was Waters, and I was like, "Oh, it's Waters." I'm so ready for this. We are eating! This is a great Lore Tuesday.
We will be conducting the interview here. It's the main lab, but nobody else is present, so it is as private as it can be. Just pull up a chair from that computer desk over there and we can get started.
Alrighty then. Let's do this.
This is violence?
I'm excited, actually.
According to the application you filled out, Apprentice lies in the Scientist Division. Is this correct?
Oh, yeah. That's correct.
Do you have a formal education in the field of science?
I have a little knowledge. I have knowledge. I believe I know enough to be able to get work done.
Do you have technical skills or experience in the field of science?
Other than, me being mechanical and having a human brain within inside me. I know how to make balloon animals. Is that science enough?
That does not have any relevance.
I know enough.
Right. Why did you enter the SUNC facility outside of operating hours?
Like the other day apparently I think someone supposedly broke in, right? I heard about that. Those goobers, them goobers, right? Right, look, so what happened was I was going down a path, just minding my own business. I saw this black figure with dark scales, and it startled me, and I tripped, and I ended up falling down a hill, and I ended up breaking my arm. So I was looking around for some scraps to be able to fix my arm, and I stumbled across your facility, and one thing led to another, and yeah.
What did you find?
What did I find? I found a lot of water. Yep. I also found a log between this. I found a key, or I guess a code, behind these blocked area. Totally did not go through. But magically, I got the key, the code, and I put it in the thing, and the thing did the thing, and I opened up a door that showed me something.
This is great.
And I was listening to some, just.
I can't tell if this was scripted or if this is just violence.
Something I probably shouldn't have seen.
Well, you're right on that. You shouldn't have seen it. Have you told anyone else what you found?
I have not, except for my dog. That's about it. My dogs.
Great. Okay. Moving on. Are you understanding of the potential hazards to life and property presented by working closely to and investigating natural disasters or weather phenomena?
I am understanding of the potential hazards and the life,
part was
property,
not
and
scripted?
the disasters, weather phenomenon. Yeah.
What form of payment would you choose to receive? The 2 down weekly standard or...
I would like 2 gold blocks, if that's all right with you.
I can do that.
You can do that?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, cool.
And do you require on-site housing?
Not necessarily, but I am quite a ways from the facility, so I mean, like a room would be nice, you know?
That can be provided.
Really?
The clown
Cool.
book?
See, I saw this really cool room. It was like, what was it? It was a number. I think it was called sleeping pod number 1. I think I would like that one if that's possible.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Right. That should be everything. I will enter the information and get back to you on your schedule.
Right. All right. All right. Wait, so I'm hired?
Yes.
Really? Even after I broke in, stole your stuff, and went through all your stuff and went through a back room that shouldn't have been gone through, and then opened up a secret room that went to another room to get a log that I shouldn't have heard, and
Yes, you are putting it in a way that makes it seem like an error in my own judgment, but I do need hires.
So you're desperate. Sorry. I'm sorry. All right. Gotcha. I will keep in touch, I guess, right? Is that how this works?
I will contact you.
Oh, you'll contact. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So we're done here?
Yes, we're done here.
How do I get out of here?
I would have thought you would know that based on your... Anyways, just take the way we came in. It should lead out.
I totally remember that. Figure it out.
Straight along that path, and then there's tubes of water. You go on the one that says exit.
All right. Gotcha. All right. Thank you. I'll see you next. Okay. Bye.
Absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. I'm pinning this. I think this is one of my favorite things of the season so far. This was so good. So good. And I get to do one of these. I'm so excited. I can't speak off the top of my head for sure. So I apologize for that, but oh my god. That was just beautiful. That, like, the fact that I was unscripted on Violence's side, I'm probably both sides. Maybe. So good. All improv. I don't know how people do improv like that. It's so good. I can barely do, like, scripted stuff. That was amazing. I'm gonna turn the music back on. Oh, just your side was. Yeah, the way, like, you're able to, like, speak so clearly, but also have, like, the right amount of, like, stuttering and, oh, okay, yeah, like, so good. My favorite line is the loud, you go in the one that says exit, was my favorite improv line. Absolute cinema. Absolute Gatsby. Water says the patient of a saint. Incredible. All right, moving on. I think we're almost done. I'll just read the rest of these, honestly. We're not that far in. It's just over 2 hours. We have Oko's log number 9. Waters was so tired of it at the end. They're pretty patient, though. Oko's log number 9. Freya, Eclipse, Mira, Comet, Marcello, and all those who side with them. You are in the way, and I pray Definitus will move you before I have to. I said this in lore discussion, but too many people have hit lists. Too many people have hit lists! Anyway, we're just gonna pretend that I'm scared too. I mean, like, Freya can't get hurt, but, like, everyone else can. Oko's gonna fuck around and find out. Dude, I need Oko and Wait, I so need Okul and Comet to fight. Fist fight. Sword fight. Why does Mira have so many people against her? It's cause she's like with Freya. That's literally all it is. If she stopped being friends and like working for Freya, I guarantee you it would stop. All of these people have something in common except for Eclipse. They're all tied to Freya. There's quite a few more lines, questions that didn't make it to Final Cut. The full audio trimmed down was like 8 minutes. I might eventually make a side cut of just those bits with their context. Please do. I would love that. Cartoon smacky hands, Okul versus Comet. I'm thinking of like those silly stretchy hands. Alright, this is from Sunny. Dear Diary, I learned a new word. Unk. It means super duper old. Like Croy old. He is the oldest old person. Old. He is like 1,000 years old. Unk. Croy. He is so old. Wait until she hears about Freya. As old as the universe. Oh, we got some more fire down here. Dude, everyone was cooking. Oh, we have Ross's the comic. Oh. Okay, let me. Yeah, maybe this will work. This is gonna be a little loud, so I'm gonna. Wait, that was gonna make me cry! What? Oh, is Strawberry in the pit now? Didn't she, like, jump in the pit or the pit was calling to her? That's so sad. No. Strawberry, no. She's in the pit. I don't know, like, the last thing that we heard was that, like, she was, like, looking in the pit. I don't know if she jumped down there, or if, like, she's being controlled now. I have no idea. Oh, let me get absolute cinema here. Absolute comic. I will read this as best I can. I don't know if I can. I'm not gonna zoom in. You good back there? Do you think Strawberry was acting odd at the festival? Define odd. I mean, she was pretty quiet, but I didn't think anything of it. I expected her to still be upset. No, it was more than that. There was something wrong with her. I just can't put my finger on it. Oh, the art is so good. It's so... I need to pin this too! Well, now that you mention it, she seemed disheveled. A bit disoriented, even. She kept disappearing at random, coming and going without saying where she went off to. And whenever I did see her, she was always next to Villowill. Villo did all the talking for her, with this almost sinister smile on her face. I don't think I heard Strawberry speak a single word all night. But who knows? Maybe she was just having a bad day. Oh man, it's so over. The entity! It's so over! Oh, I can't super react with the same emoji. There we go. Yeah, I'm pinning this. This is one of the coolest things. I don't think anyone's made like a comic like that before. Oops, all bangers. That's what I'm calling this one. I'm not even putting like the regular Lore Tuesday season 6 number 11 or whatever. Oops, all bangers. What is this? I hate posting stuff late. Oh, what is this? That's so cute. 4/27, 24/23. I can't. Someone translate this. Oh, good. My daughter, please wake up. Second page is 2 locations. Destock and Kryovoy. Kryovoy? Interesting. Oh, is this drawn or is this a pickaroo? It looks so good. Straw, please don't be in the pit. You really cooked with your lore? Oh, I know you did. Okay, since this is the end here or whatever, I'll read both of these. I'll read this first. I should probably take this inside. It'll be less likely to get ruined if I do. Croy. This is outside the hospital. Another book. To Crew. I'm sorry I wasn't there to protect you. I'll watch over Frostfire for you. Both Marina and I. I won't fail you again. Never again. Whoever did this will never hurt you again. No one will. Your father, Eurillo. Ah. A good father. I can't handle this. All right, here we go. Y'all cooked. I only saw like the first page, but I know y'all cooked. By all accounts, Eleanor had the upper hand. Comet was essentially going into the interrogation blind, something that they hadn't wanted. By the way, for those who weren't there at the faction meeting last time, people were kind of chewing Freya out, as she probably deserves, maybe not too much. And Freya was like, and Comet was like, well, she never asked to be a leader, and like totally defended her. And then Violence stood up and started being like, this sucks, dude. We're all scared and like no one's doing anything about it. Like Freya's not doing shit. And Comet was like, you shut up. Pretty much. And then we were talking about like the list of people, the what's it called? The suspects for the people who attacked Krufik. And it was the HOE. What was the other one? It was HOE, Eleanor Keener, and who was the third one? Eclipse, of course. So those are the three. And Freya's gonna hopefully go meet with Okel, which is gonna be crazy. And then when people, I think Violence of some other people were like, and Brando and whatever were just like, hey, are you gonna like interrogate Eleanor? And Freya was like, well, I mean, like, she's my friend and Marcello's friend, and I don't know anyone who could interrogate her. And then Comet piped up and was like, I'll do it. And is probably regretting it now. Here we go. Wasn't something they wanted. They had no one to blame but themselves, however, since they decided to go and run their mouth at the faction meeting. But they weren't about to let the newer Silesians slander their friend. All this led to them standing somewhere in Keepers of Solace territory outside a room that held one Eleanor Keener. They did want to question her, but they hadn't wanted to do it in such a formal setting. Initially, they wanted to introduce themselves casually, since they had mutual friends, it wouldn't be so out of the ordinary. They then wanted to ask some leading questions about things like where she'd been, what she'd been doing, etc. But word spread fast, and that opportunity was gone in the blink of an eye. This all led to now. Freya had wrangled Eleanor into a room and left her to Comet before hurrying off to do something else. The Lumaran didn't even bother introducing the two, leading to what was certainly the most awkward scenario possible. The wardens sighed. There was no point in delaying it further. They entered the room. Eleanor was sitting at the table, feet kicked up, fiddling with a lighter, looking bored. Hello, Comet said. You must be Eleanor. The human looked at the other, sizing them up. And you, Comet. Comet nodded as they sat opposite of the other, pulling out their journal with their notes. I'm sorry our first meeting had to go like this. I figured better me than one of the newer residents who doesn't have any experience. The other said dismissively. And I would like to say, as a disclaimer, that this is not personal in the slightest. I figured that if I were in your position, you'd do the same. Eleanor let out no response and only continued the rhythmic clicking of the lighter. Comet wasn't one for small talk, and clearly Eleanor wasn't either. Why did they even bother? Comet cleared their throat and then began. Where were you on the night of the assassination? Arcturus. Eleanor's quick one-word answer gave Comet an exact idea of how this interrogation would pan out. Comet restrained himself from sighing heavily. And what were you doing at the time? Reading. Interesting. I run the Silesian archives if you're ever in need of reading material, Comet said, extending an olive branch. I know. Shot down. You have experience with guns and the like. Do you have any information regarding the weapon used? No. Comet sighed and looked down at their notes. It was a Sol-Packed Navy FER 482. Are you familiar? Yes. Comet's eyes narrowed. You know this would go a lot faster if you gave me more than one-word answers, right? And? Comet closed their eyes and restrained themselves from jumping across the table. Fine. Two could play at this game. To be honest, I don't think I was entirely prepared for this meeting. I think I should ask Marcella for your file from the Arcturus' system. With that, Eleanor froze, and her eyes suddenly locked with Comet's in an icy glare. Bingo. They leaned forward. Or perhaps I might have it already in the collections at the archive. I did collect quite a few interesting books last era. Eleanor looked like she was about to burst a blood vessel. Is that so? She said in a restrained voice, also sounding like she was about to jump across the table. I don't suppose you know that that is a very sensitive document that no one should have? Is it? Comet suppressed a grin. Now they were even. I can assure you that me and my fellow librarians treat each entry in our library with the utmost of care. Eleanor pursed her lips, eyes still locked with Comet. There was a moment of silence where they were locked in a stalemate, each waiting for the other's next move. How about this? Comet leaned back. If you were the one to assassinate Krufik, how would you have gone about it? Eleanor paused for a moment before kicking her feet off the table and back onto the floor. You want my honest opinion? Yes, Comet replied. I feel it could provide some important insight into the investigation. The human leaned forward. It was amateur, for starters. Definitely not done by a professional. How so? The monster questioned as they began writing down Eleanor's response. If I were to do it, I would have finished the job. They didn't, and that's why the woman survived. To be fair, Comet interjected, she was missing a good portion of her head. In a situation where there's absolutely no one around but the target, you need to make 100% sure, especially with killing a so high profile as this one. Even just a second shot can make a huge difference. It was reported that the rifle overheated and it caused the killer to drop it. That's also probably why they fled. Eleanor rolled her eyes. Oh, don't get me started on the weapon. Why? Are you not a fan of the laser rifle? God, no. It's too unpredictable. For starters, it overheated. That wouldn't have happened if they used a projectile-based weapon, and would have allowed them to take a second shot. It also wouldn't cause you to drop the weapon in surprise, and would actually allow you to take the weapon with you when you flee. Because guess what? Now investigators can more easily identify and trace the gun back to you. If you used a projectile-based weapon, it's possible that they would be able to identify the gun through any bullet remains, but it would take longer. For laser guns, it's near impossible to identify the specifics from the hole left in the body. It doesn't make sense to use a laser rifle and leave behind the fucking gun. It defeats the entire point. Pack it in, pack it out. She paused. Are you getting this? Comet nodded as their hand flew across the page, taking note of everything Eleanor said. Good. Second, laser weapons are loud. Of course, conventional guns are as well, but the laser weapons even more so. If you listen very carefully, you can hear them powering up, which could potentially alert your victim of what's about to happen. It's risky. Third, the assassination attempt happened in a snowy climate, yeah? Yes, I think there was a storm sometime soon after, Comet answered, not even looking up from their writing. That's another issue. Lasers are hot. Laser plus snow equals melt. Congrats, everyone knows where you are. Now you're dead. It defeats the whole purpose of sniping somebody. Judging the fact that they were actually able to hit their target, I'd say they'd have some form of experience with long-range weapons. But to use a laser rifle? Absolutely amateur. If I were to give them the benefit of the doubt, maybe they didn't have experience with soul-packed weapons. Or maybe it was the only gun they could get their hands on. But even still, come on. I would literally rather be caught dead than to execute something so messy. She waved her hand dismissively into the air. Comet finished writing the last thought before the last question. So, in your opinion as a professional, if you were to do it, how would you have done it? I would have used a railgun. Or, hell, I would have even snuck up and killed them point blank if there's no witnesses around. The only reason I would have left the weapon behind was if I wanted to frame someone, or if I was a dumbass. A moment passed as Comet finished writing and then closed the book. Considering how heated you got, I suppose this is sufficient enough evidence that it indeed wasn't you. Damn right. Comet stood, towering over the other. Once again, I regret that this was our first official meeting. I wish it had been under better circumstances. Eleanor followed suit, standing up. I agree. She paused before narrowing her eyes at Comet. Now about my file. Comet laughed as they moved to the door and opened it, motioning for Eleanor. I didn't raid the Arcturus last era for books. I didn't want him to catch the ire of the captain. Eleanor let out a small, relieved sigh as she followed. Thank God. It's bad enough that Marcello knows. That bloody, huh? I've had my fair share of battles. Thankfully, those records are mostly lost to time. Comet closed the door behind both of them. You know, it's nice to meet another drifter. Let me know when you're around and I'll buy you a drink sometime. Comet smiled. That would be nice. Ah! Dude, I'm kicking my feet in there reading this too, and I'm reading it right now. Oh, I love that. Eleanor's making friends, Comet's making friends. It's such an odd way, but I love them both, dude. They finally met, and they're both badasses. They didn't kill each other. It's so true. Oh, that was so good. Dude, everyone cooked. Oops, all bangers. Everyone cooked this Lore Tuesday. I'll give them 50% off their drinks. Freya set them up for the weirdest playdate ever. Now Comet. We need to have Freya and Comet. Dude, we need something with the both of them. I really want it. We have a new lore sheet? You know what? Why not? It's quick. Feather! Pre-anomaly fought in a great war. Bounty hunter. Wanderer, maybe? Bartender. This is sick art. Eyes of a hawk. Nice. Awesome possum. I'm never saying that again. Are there any server builds that we should look at? Male room in the marketplace? What about the female room, huh? It's taking forever to load. Wow! Wait, this is so cool! Oh my gosh, like the mail for the stalls. That's amazing. Oh yeah. Dude, the Parks and Rec area is, like, jaw-droppingly gorgeous. Everything looks... It sucks compared to it. It's so beautiful. And then we already saw that. So that is everything, folks. What about the they-them room? Oh my god, you're so right. I may or may not do 3 Lore Tuesdays next week. Fire art. First would be redacted, second would be world building, and third would be truffle absolutely suffering. I would recommend putting them in one document and having tabs if you're doing Google Docs. Freya, I did a little something in the hospital, forgot to message you about it. I forgot to put it in the builds thing. Oh yeah, it was like the moss and vines thing? Was that you? Mirror video? You can make Solace pretty? Oh yes! You have free reign! I'll give you creative mode! You want to build something cool, like for an event? I'll give you access to anything. 2 to be voice acting. Hell yeah. Alright. Well, that was fun. So coming up, if you are in... There are 2 groups here. If you are in the Chosen Ones group, which you can't see on the stream, but you know who you are, Thursday, we are meeting to discuss what's going to happen for that event. If you are in the Eleanor Mission group, that's up to Kath, whether or not you meet. But make sure to respond to her stuff. If you are writing a fan fiction for the fan fiction competition, you still have time. I was going to have it the deadline today, but I forgot to announce it beforehand, so it is this Friday is the deadline, and I will read it at the beginning of that stream. Speaking of which, there are Friday streams now, and every Friday it's going to be fun Fridays. It's going to be a more chill version of Lore Tuesday. We're just catching up on anything that, like, I couldn't get to, and then we are spinning a wheel. Where's the wheel? Here's the wheel. Fun Fridays. Oh, you can't even see it. This thing. So, like, if we spin the wheel at the beginning and see what we're gonna do. The fun thing. So, in this situation, we would play on the server, it looks like. Ta-da! Anyway. Very fun. Oh, by the way, dude, I bought myself some keychains and stuff. Very cool stuff. Almost doxed myself. Not really. Anyway. Cool beans. I will see you on Friday or Thursday if you're in the group. And I don't think there's anything else going on. Let me check the events real quick. Yeah, that event thing. Fun Friday. Yeah, faction meeting. Nothing else going on. So, farewell. I'll see you later.